So who wants to start?
I'd say, do you want to start with the Grizzlies? Because
We could, or Dylan, do you have any questions or stuff you'd like to ask first to start us off? Or
No, so my understanding of this is that there will be a point where y'all like pitch designs or something, but I'd love to have the teams in on here on like that.
looks like
Well,
technical
that's fine, yeah.
difficulties.
But if and let me know.
sorry, could you repeat that one more time? We started to have some.
Yeah, the screen the screen froze.
Yeah, you're good. So my understanding of this meeting was that you guys had some questions and just wanted clarification. I think later, once you guys have designs that are a little like more fleshed out,
Yep.
I can have set up a meeting with like keepers and people who would actually be running approvals at the zoo. But for now, if you guys just have like any questions, let me know. I'm super happy to help. And I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking about.
So do you want to start? Right?
Yeah, I'll start. So as of right now with our group, it is me, Nick, and Stephanie. And Brian, he's in the call as of right now. Our group would be working with the elephants for
Sweet.
our animal design.
Yeah.
Our design that we're debating on, we're going to be doing a cart system with walking legs at the very bottom because we were never walking through it. It was a pain to be and thinking about, oh crap, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Because as of right now for the positioning, we're planning on putting it on that little walkway that's above the elephants.
Yeah.
So, and you said that, I remember in the email, it showed that you said it was 8-hour intervals of it needing to work. So is this something that we'll run into the nighttime where we need to spec it out to be 24 hours for battery life, or 8 hours throughout the operational hours, or?
I think more than likely, especially before we have like a lot of reps in and we're pretty confident about how the system works and like we understand it from our end, it's probably not something we'd run overnight. We'd probably just run it while keepers are there. Later, if it's like user friendly and we get like a bit into it and we're like, it's not gonna like accidentally throw the bucket into the yard with the elephants or like, cause potential problems where no one's there to like actually fix it, then I think it's entirely possible that keepers will leave it running overnight. But it's not something where you guys would need to like have that as a thing you're considering on the front end. If it can run for 8 hours, that's like more than enough time.
Okay. Secondly is with the feed.
Question, sir.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Brian?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Regarding the power source, I remember there being mentions of how we could run the launcher. So would you like us to use like a lead acid battery or lithium ion?
If you feel confident that you can make something that the keepers can use that's lithium ion and like safe for them to use, then you can 100% do it. I'm always kind of sketched out by wiring up lithium ion batteries, and if it is something where they can like accidentally plug it in wrong and it explodes, that would be a bummer.
The reason why I'm bringing it up is because we don't know exactly how we're going to power it. Because I do remember during our like very first meeting when you came in,
Yeah.
it was explicitly stated that there couldn't be an extension cord due to like tripping hazards and liability and stuff like that. And we're like, most of the solutions that we were looking at, if it's going to be operating for, you said 8 to potentially, 10 hours a day, we're like, you know, power draw is going to be decent amounts, and we
Yeah.
don't know if we have the infrastructure to have any charging system for like lead acid batteries.
Yeah. Um, I, you guys, I mean, that's part of the reason I'm excited to be working with you guys. You guys know more about this than I do. I have like a super, super, super basic understanding of batteries and like electronics and whatever. Um, if you guys feel like you can do it safely, that's great. And if you guys can use like off the shelf products like a mobile like power bank or something, then that's also great. I don't really understand how these work, so I don't have a ton of information to be able to advise on it other than just like it needs to not explode and burn down our barn.
Understandable.
Yeah, that's fair. So I had a primary question, like a big one we started talking about between groups is originally we proposed the idea to you of each group does their own thing and then we have, say, funding for each catapult. But I started to think more on it, same with the other groups, that'd be kind of expensive. So if we had an idea of is one catapult group at the end, whoever seems to be the best and knows what they're doing the most, say they get selected and their catapults the plan for what's being built, but the other groups will also work together with them to help them build it. So it's like just one catapult where everyone's working together to make it the best version they can, but the group that was selected is the leader for it and they get the funding for it. And so we have 12 heads working together for one catapult to make the best product rather than like three different catapults that could have different ways to operate or need different parts if it's maintenance and stuff. That was just an idea we had, and we're wanting to talk to you about it since, in my opinion, that sounds like a good idea since it's one catapult, and if you want another one, and like say one of the catapults works really well, so you want another one, but you already have three catapults, that'd be kind of spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
If it's just the one catapult design, you want another one, then you can just ask them again to make it again. They already have everything ready for it. You won't have to relearn how to do a different catapult.
I mean, that sounds great.
Okay.
That sounds perfect. If we have one catapult that's flexible and we can like it does the catapulting well, that's totally what we're looking for.
Because we're still all planning to like specialize for the enclosures we have, and like if they can be
What's
changed.
up?
Oh.
One more time? Sorry, it kind of
Okay.
froze.
So the idea that I had with this, like, we're still all going to work with the things that we're planning to do, like my group with the Grizzlies, their group with the Elephants.
Yeah.
Make it flexible to swap between everyone with the actual like budget or product, or when we get to the final parts of the prototype, and then we're selected, then we can all just work together on the one that's selected to be really good, and it's extra flexible since we have ideas from everyone on one thing. So,
Dude, that's ideal.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Okay, yeah, that's just the main things because I don't want to make the zoo be right off the gate. They plan for a budget of like I don't know $2,000 for one catapult. And we're like, well, what about 6,000 for three different catapults?
Yeah.
And you don't even know how good they'll be fully until we actually build them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that in mind, would that mean that would we be able to get your selection on it? Because if we're able to get selection on which catapult would be the best one.
Yeah.
Us personally, we would like to be able to try to get it sooner rather than later because if we get the catapult selection like in April, we only have 3 weeks to be able to work on it.
No. So I have a question real quick on top of this. So our senior project basically ends at the end of April. You're not planning to have the actual final catapult be at the end of April aligning with our senior project. It's just you will select someone and they'll begin working on it once they're selected, right? And there's not a time frame of finish by the end of April.
Whatever you guys want.
Okay. I just want to make sure they're worried about that.
Yeah, we're just stoked that you guys are doing this.
Okay.
If you guys want to present sooner rather than later, we can get you that selection as soon as possible. I'm really excited to hear about y'all's designs, and I think the keepers will be too. If you guys are like, I want to finish up school and not have to worry about actually building it until like I'm done with my project, that also makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, because one of the things I had in mind was just like with all of the posters and proposals and things that we will be having at the end of the senior project, that'd be great to showcase to the zoo so they can actually understand everything.
Thank you, Kevin. It's got to be done by April.
Oh, what?
Oh, we didn't hear you, Professor Bariso.
So it cut off, and all we heard was until April.
I was saying you have to do it as part of class, not wait till the summer.
I had a question in terms of the amount of like the amount of pounds that will be put into the catapult in terms of food. You may have mentioned this at the zoo when we visited the first time, but I was just curious on like what's an estimated amount of food in pounds to be expected and to be put in one feeder like per day.
It's a good question.
Or at least in terms of the grizzlies. I know for like the elephants, grizzlies,
Yeah.
and polar bears, it's different pounds. But in terms of, or if you could, like for each one, so that we could all know.
Yeah, I mean, those bags of feed that I gave Ryan, that's like a pretty reasonable amount for like one elephant. That's something I'm gonna have to go talk to people and get to you. I'm trying to think through it, but like I can give you like vague estimates, like 2 or 3 times the weight of that bag, or like 3 sweet potatoes. But I can go get you something more precise.
Okay.
Regarding the sweet potatoes, I noticed that for the elephant, we also have carrots.
Yep.
Are they cut to a uniform shape? I know that the carrots, they're cut into long strips, but when we were there, I noticed that some of them are longer or shorter than the others.
Yeah.
Is there a consistent length to the cuts
No.
for the carrots and the sweet potatoes,
No,
size-wise?
not at all. I mean, they're like sort of consistent because it's like our nutrition team does it, but depending on who's cutting it up, it's gonna vary.
So
Thank you, sir.
So I just want to ask real quick with Bariso. So just to make sure, are you saying the final product you're wanting it done during school time, or all the schematics and designs for it done during school time? Because like 3 or 2 weeks at the end to do it seems a little bit rushed. But like a prototype done by then makes perfect sense on all the schematics and stuff. I just want to be sure that's what you're saying, because like having a month to work on the final product after we've been chosen and we can present everything so the zoo knows exactly what we're going to be giving them seems a little bit better than just do this in 2 weeks at the end. It's okay.
Dr. B.
He's down at South Campus.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I have to ask him in person later.
I figured it's easier for me to just come in here. Why the hell are you all sitting back here?
What do you mean?
I'm like this big in the camera.
See us. Look at the camera.
Get over it.
I need the plug.
There's a plug over here.
Right.
You guys are just not right in the head. Anyway, so to your question, really the thought process was you would have the final project because you've been working on this for a while. You definitely have to have a fully functioning prototype
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
by Drew.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna do this select one and only do the one, I assume you guys would have prototypes probably by the end of this month, the very latest. That was my internal assumption guess. If you're not that far, then you guys are gonna just have to bust ass, because really, they need the working product, right?
Mm-hmm.
A proof of concept that is not gonna be robust enough is not gonna do them any good. And that's kind of what we talked about in the beginning is, you guys have to manage your time and you haven't.
So, I think that we can agree that a prototype should be, produced at least by mid, like before, I say at least by.
Spring break.
Yeah, as soon as we get back from spring break, I mean, we can work on.
I think you need to have the prototypes done by the end of the month.
By end of this month?
Yes.
8 days?
Yes,
Let's.
you guys have been kind of dragging your feet on this. You guys have not been pushing me saying, well, we need this after, we need it. You know, I get this email occasionally that I'll admit I occasionally forget. Your projects, I told you that from the beginning.
So,
I mean, if you have it done before spring break, you're not too far off.
but that still gives a month. I mean.
No. Spring break's the second week of April or of March. It buys you 1 week.
Like, we gotta be done at the beginning of April. I thought that the senior project was done April 24th.
Yeah, it was like done at the, like,
Well, that's the final thing, yes. No, I'm talking the prototypes for spring break. That gives you spring break to work on stuff. I don't care if you plan to go somewhere, it's not my problem. It gives you all of March or the rest of March, right?
But
So when is the final, like, after we present?
The original goal was to be done beginning of April.
I want us to have a concrete date so people aren't like in their head overthinking. I want people to know, okay, this date, let's set it, and that's what they.
Well, that's part of what you guys need to figure out.
Well, let's figure it out right now. We are here.
But with
Right.
being able to have a fully working, not a prototype, but the final product, for the funding of it, would we have to go out of pocket to be able to fund the final product?
No.
Or,
Yeah.
because with that, how can we start with the final product without having any funding for it?
Yeah, no, that's where the wiggle room comes in.
That's why he wants us to get the prototype in as quick as possible, so then
Yeah.
he can have time, because, I mean, we're gonna make him have to bust his ass on the back end. But on the time crunch, if we.
And I don't love you nearly that much.
Because that was also our concern of, like, we could do a smaller prototype and then immediately jump over to the final project versus, because now with the combination of one group of 12 people versus 3
Then
groups.
you should be able to do it that much faster.
Okay,
Sir, Bariso and Dylan, I have a question. So, for our prototype, and our final project, some of the parts are interchangeable because we do have to buy the full scale parts in order to test them. If we do get selected, is there a way for us to get like some form of like reimbursement, because we will be spending our own money to buy the final part for the prototype, but we'll be using that part in the final solution?
We will see what we can do about trying to get that to occur.
Yes,
I
sir.
can't guarantee it, but I will fight for heavily.
Yeah, and I want to be clear on the funding from the zoo side of things. Like, there is no guarantee from the zoo that there's a ton of funding available. Like, y'all were talking in thousands of dollars. I have a $200 a month kind of personal budget that I can spend on stuff. But like, that's like the absolute maximum I could like promise that the zoo can contribute towards this project.
And yeah, I think I can come up with another $300 or $400 without any problem for that final selected one. And I can kind of, I'll commit to that. But after that, yeah, until we have a budget, we don't know what to ask for.
Yeah.
Again, which is what we talked about in the beginning. All right?
Yeah.
I
Yes,
also,
sir.
I also.
Well, that is very nice of you.
I had a question about that, course fee. Where is that?
You don't open that can of worms. What is the course fee for this class?
$300. Why did you say you?
No, I believe, I don't,
Lost for words, you like.
I don't have a answer that you want to hear for that. And I don't have an answer that is probably correct.
Federal money anyway, it's okay.
So, any other questions we have for Dylan right now that we can figure out?
Do we want to try to schedule time for us presenting our prototypes?
Possibly.
Hey, wait, so I
Yes.
have closing remarks. So since all the groups are building the product, like the final project together, that means that the final project has to be lightweight and mobile. I want y'all to understand that it has to be like, if it's gonna be interchangeable, then it has to be truly interchangeable and versatile. So I
Yeah.
noticed that we get kind of like the constraints, and we can go over that. As far as group members.
That's if we're going towards a single design as the final thing, my suggestions for your consideration, I understand y'all are still making tailored prototypes, but in a final design, I think the things that we would care about most are like the ability to use produce. So having some way to cool the food chamber would be really, 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 really nice. And having it be mobile would be really, really, really nice. And that's kind of it. Mobility and like flexible food storage slash dispensing are the two things that I think will be key. The time limit, if y'all are worried about like wiring up sketchy lithium batteries and stuff, like the time limit on this stuff can go down. And like it's gonna be hard to run extension cords, but like if we absolutely have to, it constrains where we can put it, but like we can work on it. But like the things that are pretty non-negotiable are the mobility and the flexibility for what we're putting in it.
Uh, Going off of that, sir, is there a size and a weight constraint? Because I do know that you guys are wanting to move it around.
Yeah.
And to get it up to like the elephants and some of like the grizzlies, I do know that you guys have a winch for the elephants, but I don't know about the other exhibits. So is there a weight limit and a size constraint that we have to, try to fit within?
There is no hard limit. Like I trust you guys to come up with something that's gonna be useful given like those kind of guidances. And I also like y'all are the engineers and I am not. So I don't want to be like do it in this thing and then give you something that's ridiculous because I realize we're not really giving you a ton of funding or guidance. And so like to be like here's some ridiculous design requirements, I would feel pretty bad about. The thing I had in mind was like, those two-wheel dollies you use to transport like crates of drinks?
Yeah.
Like they're like
I could share.
like this guy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. I assume you have. I feel like everyone's seen one of these.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that thing.
Mhm. Yes,
And you
sir.
kind of like tilt it back and you can move stuff around. If it could fit on one of those, that would be absolutely amazing. Because then we can wheel it around. It doesn't really matter how heavy it is. We can drag it up that hill.
And you all have the dolly, correct?
What's up?
And the zoo has a dolly already, correct?
We will provide a dolly. I got y'all on the dolly front.
Okay.
Um, and I can even look around and see if I can provide a dolly that I could like bring to you guys once you guys are done with your prototyping, and we can have like a dolly handoff.
Just let me know, cause I live pretty close to the zoo and
Yeah.
so I can grab it and bring it up here, and do whatever we get to do.
Yeah, the like no promises on it, but I'll poke around.
You good? I got you. Just let you know. You can contact me to come pick it up whenever, if you get it.
Sweet. Thank you, Ryan.
No worries.
Y'all got any other questions?
As of right now, I know, do you guys have any questions?
I have one.
Yeah.
So when it comes to maintenance with the catapults for the zookeepers, how many times a day? I know when it comes to the feeder, it's expected to work essentially all day. But
Yeah.
when it comes to maintenance, would it be more so in the night kind of maintenance or in the mornings?
Maintenance like
Like
putting it out.
cleaning out where the food will be in and replacing like putting in more food for the catapult.
Um, it would depend on how people are using it. Like if they're putting it out early in the morning, maybe they clean it and get it ready and prep all the food for the night before and then go put it out as like one of the first things. Or if they like get it out midday, like it just kind of depends. They'll clean and maintain it whenever. Like that's not a huge constraint on our end.
Okay, I'm just making sure that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Good question.
This is a curiosity question. I don't know, because I'm not dealing with this, but for the coding guys, I don't know if this is a question they need to ask, but we know it'll be a automatic feeder. So like what, I know it is the 8 hour intervals, but like, so how much food do you want sent out and what frequency? Like, will it be like every 30 minutes, every hour? Because we know that the elephant, like, is like, what are what's the frequency that you wanted that?
It's a good question. I don't know how reasonable this is. When I built a small catapult for the lemurs, I had two different dials, one that would do total duration, and then another one that would do um I'm trying to think, number of intervals within that total duration. And so basically you could set like X hours, X feeds within that time. Um, and so if you guys have some kind of simple control system that lets keepers like adjust, if you have a dial for like amount of food and you have a dial for like inter-throw interval, that's probably fine. And I don't know if you guys can add like any amount of randomization, but if you can add like a ability to have 25% randomization on either side, that would be awesome. Because if animals like they have pretty good internal clocks, and if they know it's going to happen every hour, they'll develop like repetitive behavior around it. Um, the other thing is like as a control scheme, the thing I liked about the lemur one was you could set the total duration. And so trying to fit this within like a keeper's daily routine, you have like they might know that they have 6 hours where this thing can run, and at 6 hours and 1 minute, they need to be able to pull it back inside. So if you can say like if the setting where instead of inter-throw interval was like total time, and then you could set like throw this much in that time, um, that would be great. I think total time as the control thing, that's one of the more important ones.
Like being able to set it up like a timer where you're able to change however time you would like depending on the animal and have it be flexible for perhaps moving it to a different enclosure like that.
Different enclosure or different like husbandry routine, because like there are days where the elephant team has to like do foot care for the elephants, and that like carves 30 minutes out of their day, right? And so that's 30 minutes that the elephants are inside, that they're not outside, which means if you use a catapult on the day where you like don't have footwork, it could have like 7 hours to run. And if you have 5 elephants with like 15 minutes of footwork each, that cuts out nearly an hour. And so you can't have that same 7 hour timer on the like no footwork day.
Going off of that, sir, so would we operate under the presumption that when the caretakers first come in, they're gonna dump all the food into a bucket and they're gonna dump all the food into a hopper and just let it run for the entire day instead of like having, like before they go to lunch, they dump another load of food into the hopper? Because I don't know how much cooling we're gonna be able to get.
Yeah, I think either is fine. Whatever you guys want to do, we're gonna be super stoked about. Like, I don't want to constrain y'all. The less often the keepers have to go to it, the more useful it is. But like also the more refrigerated it is, the more useful it is. So it's a balancing act, and I assume people like can just stop by on their way up to like do hay nuts or something.
Okay. That would answer everything that we have. If we end up choosing to do separate groups, would
Yeah.
the thing of it still be 200 per group or split among everyone? So within 3 groups, it's probably about like $70.
I personally have access to $200 a month. So it would have to get split up. I mean, it's possible that you present this to the elephant people, and this is why I'm trying to get like when you have your prototypes that you're bringing or whatever, I'm trying to get y'all in front of the people who have more than $200. Because it's possible you bring something and like the elephant curator looks at it and she's like, I've got my like donation restricted elephant slush fund, give them as much money as they want.
Okay.
Like that's possible. I don't think it's likely, but if you blow people away, I'm going to try to get you in front of the people who would have more money. But all I can say is I have $200.
Yes, sir. Fine. Understandable.
Okay, and the meeting is gonna end in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Yes.
That would be all the answers or questions I would ask.
Yeah, same here.
Good.
I think of.
Well, sweet. Thank you guys so much for like meeting and asking stuff, and thank you guys for working on this project. We're super duper excited about it. I think even the prototypes you guys can put together are going to be so much better than anything anyone here can do. So like kind of regardless, we're stoked. If you have any questions, hit me up. Make sure to CC Dr. Bariso on any communications. And you can also, I guess, go through Ryan. Anyway, thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing stuff. When you guys have a date for when you would like to bring prototypes, let me know.
All right.
So,
Thank you so much.
final question, sir.
Yeah, what's up?
You said that you made like little catapult.
Damn.
I was not being asked.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brian, you just cut out. And you're on mute now.
Yeah.
You good?
You said that you made a catapult for the lemurs. Is there a way for you to send over the information on what you made for the lemurs for us to kind of get like a baseline idea of what you guys are familiar with?
Yeah, it was really janky and is really janky, but I'll send it. I mean, it's like 3D printed and like it's driven by like this kind of like weird worm gear thing that winds up a bungee cord. Like it's super janky.
All right,
But I'll send it over.
I have one final question.
Yeah.
Is there a set temperature that you want it to be refrigerated at, or would it just be fine with be below freezing or above room temperature?
for like the produce and stuff, cooler's better, but I don't think we're like super stressed about it. And what we can do on our end is we can like see how long stuff stays fresh in the cooler and then just only leave stuff in for that long. Like these are all wishes and desires, but none of these are like hard requirements. We'll work with whatever we get.
All right. Okay.
Sweet.
Sweet as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll do.